See, here's what I discovered. People who work hard for money don't understand how to play the money game. And people who make lots of money, they make lots of money playing games.
People that make a lot of money playing games. That's kind of something interesting to say. You know, when I think about growing up, you know, I was told that you need to work hard for your money. You got to work hard to make money. That's what you have to do. That's what I was taught. I had to work hard for money. So what did I do? I went out, joined the military, I got a job, I started a business, and I worked hard for money. That's what I did because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. I thought it's what I needed to do in order to provide for my family. To find out that's not really exactly the case. It's interesting. And it's not that it's not the case because Myron Golden said it's not the case. It's not the case because I spent the last, I don't know how many years working hard for money. I didn't know how to play the money game. So this podcast is about business, life, and real estate. It's about bettering ourselves and our families and putting you in position to win. On this channel, we learn and we share knowledge because knowledge is power. And I truly believe that. I believe that the more we know, the better. I wish that there was a school that spoke about this thing specifically, learning to play the money game and other things. There's a game on how to make money, how to be successful, and you got to learn how to play it to win. So on this podcast, we're going to be listening to examples of other successful people. And one of the successful people that we just listened to was Myron Golden. He's someone, I found Myron on YouTube and I actually stopped and I clicked on this thumbnail of his picture because he was wearing a hat. And he had some resemblance to my father in this particular thumbnail. And I had to just know, like, who is this guy looking like my pops? And, you know, I don't know how tall the guy is, but my dad's short. The guy looks short. I'm taller than him, but so there's a lot of like uncanny resemblances in that thumbnail. Now, the video that I watched originally of his was a video called "Be Not Afraid, Only Believe," and I strongly believe that if you're going to watch any video in general, watch this video. If you're going to watch any video of Myron, definitely pick this video. There's two videos that you can pick up. And I'm going to share this one right here, and I'll link the other one down in the description box down below. If you listen to this on a podcast, I'll link it in the description of the podcast as well. This video has changed my life because it reminded me of who I was and put my life back into perspective, and is the single video everyone should watch if you're going through something, or if you have gone through some difficult times, which I believe is basically everyone. Personally, I aim to watch this specific video, Be Not Afraid, Only Believe. I aim to watch that at least once a month because after watching this video and another video of his, it really just shifted my perspective to when I was a much younger dude, because when you're younger, you have a heck of a lot of confidence and belief in yourself. Well, maybe not everyone, but I did. I had a lot of confidence and belief in myself. And through the years, through some blunders and some mistakes, I kind of started to lose some of that confidence and some of that belief in myself. But so check them out. But today we're talking about playing the money game, and we're going to kind of dive into these topics real quick. But first, we're going to listen to
introducing this episode's
something from the
podcast
sponsor.
Platinum Mortgage Company. Looking to buy your dream home? Need a down payment assistance program? Or looking to consolidate some debt? PMC is a premier mortgage and real estate brokerage and helping their clients to obtain their financial goals since 1989. With their team of experienced mortgage professionals servicing California, Washington, and Oregon, residential and commercial properties. Platinum Mortgage Company offers personalized guidance and competitive rates to help you secure the perfect loan. The staff at PMC understands that each client is unique, which is why they tailor their solutions to meet your specific needs. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or a long-time investor, Platinum Mortgage Company has got you covered. Their commitment to exceptional service and transparent communication ensures you'll have a worry and stress-free communication throughout the entire process. Don't miss out on your experience to work with PMC. Visit them at www.pmc.com www.pmccanhelp.com. Oh, and make sure you tell them that you found them on the Get Busy podcast. When it comes to mortgages, the Platinum Mortgage Company, NMLS number 266371, is the name that you can trust. Let PMC guide you towards a brighter future. All right, let's get busy.
Let's get back to this video. So I use Platinum Mortgage for myself, but I refer Platinum Mortgage to all of my customers, especially those customers that are looking to secure a mortgage. You might be buying or selling real estate, and working with someone that you trust is very important. And working with someone that that cares about the outcome, your specific outcome, is a very important deal. And that is why I recommend Platinum Mortgage Company. That is why I'll always likely recommend Platinum Mortgage Company, because they care. They care about me. They care about you. They care about your outcome and your success. Everybody's got a different situation, a different scenario. And they really have a lot of programs and things that, can benefit a lot of home buyers out there, especially in times like this where interest rates are crazy high. Kind of guiding you, look, you don't get very many mortgage companies telling you, hey, you know what? You don't have to buy right now. They will tell you like, hey, do X, Y, and Z, and then get ready to buy. Wait till rates come down, before you get ready to buy. So that way you can afford the house that you want. Wait for this, wait for that. There's different reasons why every other person or everybody needs to wait, and everybody's scenario is a little bit different. And that's kind of the key right there. They're not going to just tell you you don't qualify and then send you on your merry way. Hey, you don't qualify, and these are the reasons why you don't qualify. Here's what you can do to fix this. If it's a credit repair, if it's this, if it's some debts that need to be paid off, you're going to have a clear picture of that. So let's move on. If you've ever been used to doing something hard or challenging in your life, then, this story that I'm going to tell you guys are going to be able to relate to. In 1998, I joined the Navy, and I went to boot camp. Now, for those of you who've never been to boot camp before, I'm just going to paint a really quick picture, kind of just back then, kind of where I was at. For most of my life, I lived in Southern California. And if you go to boot camp is in Great Lakes, Illinois. And, the difference between Southern California and Great Lakes, Illinois, I'm telling you, it's cold in Illinois. It's lovely here in the Southern California. And anyways, as a kid, I would say maybe from the time I was around 7 or 8 years old, the only thing that I really ever cared to do at that time was play basketball. It's the only thing that I felt like I was good at. It's the one thing that I enjoyed, and I can do it literally all day long. So by the time I hit 17, 18 years old, I was in really, really good shape. And just kind of like a small background, my father wasn't the warmest individual. So growing up, he was somewhat militant, and, let me just put it this way. The guy told you to do something, you better do it. So, the transition and going to the military, for me, initially, I would say I was set up to go into the military to play the game. So I remember leaving, boarding my flight from California to, I think it was Chicago or something like that. I don't remember what airport we flew into. I don't know if they have more than one airport there. But I remember flying in, landing. It was somewhat sunny. It was definitely windier and a little bit chillier there in Great Lakes when I arrived. Mind you, this is late September sometime, so just before October. And I remember getting there, getting off the plane, boarding some van because someone there was waiting to take us from the airport to boot camp. When I say us, I mean there was other people there flying in around the same time that I did not know. And as I'm boarding this van, get on the van, I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of reflecting on my life as I kind of got up to this point, how I'm arriving, and I'm excited about a new journey that I'm now going on, because it's really my first time really away from home, away from parents, and so on and so forth. So we get to boot camp, and or we get outside of Great Lakes boot camp facility, and that's where the game really started. As soon as we pulled up, you had some petty officer at the time, not knowing who they were, not knowing what ranks were, not knowing any of that. I was 17 years old, didn't know anything about the military. And the game started. Someone's there yelling at all the ladies and men, telling them, take those barrettes out your hair. Slapping barrettes and pulling out rubber bands out their hair. And it was the funny. Okay, for me, it was the funniest thing because now you're looking at these girls because it really sucked for the women because they literally have their hair buns pulled out. They literally, I mean, some of these girls' hair, especially if you're a black female, your hair is looking crazy because you're just forced to take out anything holding your hair and keeping your hair together. And me, I was wearing one of those old school LL Cool J Kango hats, the round brims or whatever. I don't know who I thought I was, but that was a hat that I was rocking. I had already shaved my head before I went in because I knew that that's something that they did once you got there. So, but that's what it was. And they were very active in slapping this stuff out of people's heads. I mean, if you ever talk about feeling violated, I mean, you're going to feel violated at that point in time. But if I hadn't been in position where I had a father who wasn't very easy on me, and then I had been playing basketball, I was in tip-top shape. I could run all day long. I could do as many push-ups as was necessary. That's where I was at. I mean, physical exertion did not scare me, didn't frighten me. And I think when we're talking about playing the money game, no matter what situation you may find yourself in, there are rules of the game. We talk about things like the laws of attraction, right? Or a basketball game or money game. And I want to be careful to say is like, I don't believe in playing games with people. That's not what this is about. It's not about playing games with people. It is about learning the rules more so than anything, especially when it comes to money, especially when it comes to your finances. And I remember in my first business, I was sitting there and I had more money than I've ever had before, over $100,000. And I remember feeling terrified because I made the money. I did not know what to do with the money. I just knew that I could keep making it, but I had absolutely no clue. I mean, yeah, could buy a house. I bought a house. I did that. I wanted to invest, but I didn't know where to invest at. I didn't know the different places, different pockets, at the time, because all I did was work. I worked and I made money. I worked and I made money. And I worked and I made money. I was afraid. I was terrified. I want to tie this whole money game in here. So give me a second. Let's go on to the second point Myron was making.
Because people think that the primary thing they should look at when they borrow money is an interest rate. But an interest rate is often a distraction. It's not always a distraction, but it's often a distraction. Like, how many of you have ever gotten an invitation in your mortgage to refinance your house, right? And you can get a lower payment, right? And a lower interest rate. Well, why are they giving you, ask yourself the question, why are they giving you a lower payment and a lower interest rate? Here's why. Because they know something you don't know. They understand the game. See, if you don't understand the money game, then you have to work on the board as one of the pieces.
If you don't understand the money game, you have to work on the board as one of the pieces. If you don't understand the money game, you have to work on the board as one of the pieces. It's something, to me, that's something powerful to be said. It's something powerful to understand.
For the people who understand how to play the game. And the banks understand how to play the game. So they'll send you a letter saying, we're going to give you a lower interest rate and you'll have a lower monthly payment on your mortgage. But the reason they're going to do that is because if you do that, you got, say, 13 years left on your mortgage. Now you have to start a whole new 30-year mortgage. And the first 10 years of your mortgage, most of the money you pay goes to interest. So even though you're paying a lower interest rate when you refinance your house and get a lower payment, even though you're paying a lower interest rate, you're paying more in interest than if you had kept the higher interest rate with the higher payment.
This is a prime example of the money game and what the money game represents, what it actually is. I tell my clients all the time, I get clients calling me up all the time wanting to refinance. And number one, there's a lot of reasons why you may want to refinance your home, but I feel like there's very rarely ever really good reasons to actually refinance your home, especially if for this specific reason right here. Once you refinance, you got a new 30-year mortgage. And on top of that, yeah, your payments might go down. But if you ever had a mortgage statement come in the mail and it tells you on that mortgage statement, hey, this is how much you're paying towards interest. It's like, geez, you're not paying that on principal of that home at all. So it's something that you want to really definitely consider. So I try to steer my clients away from doing this in general. There are better options. And some of those options are to, go out and get a home equity line of credit, HELOC. So, these are things that I constantly and consistently am trying to prevent many of my clients from doing. But this is just one example. All of this hits home for me because as an employee, I knew no matter how hard I worked, I was only worth what someone was willing to pay me. I was only worth what I could do for someone else. That's all I was worth. That was it. And I had to ask myself a question: how long will I continue to be a piece of someone else's game? Just a pawn in someone else's game. And so starting my business for me was the beginning where I started to really play the money game, but I still didn't know the rules. I didn't know how to play the rules. Okay. Because now I created my first business for one reason, that was to make a lot of money. But I was short-sighted in that thought. Oh, I thought if I have a lot of money, then I could do whatever I really wanted. I thought if I had a lot of money, I would find the answer. And the truth of the matter is I had a lot of money, but when you're not in the right mind frame, in the mindset, you're not going to, the right answer when you're looking for it, it's like, it's not necessarily there. And if you're not surrounded by people to help guide you in the right direction, then getting a lot of money can also be depressing and scary because you don't know what to do with it. I remember I was reaching out to people online trying to figure out, hey, I got this money to invest. Where should I invest it? What should I do with it? And it was terrifying. So, but I was short-sighted in that purpose because I was working hard and I was making a lot of money, but I was short-sighted because that business needed me to show up every single day in order for it to succeed, in order for me to succeed. In order for me to get paid, I had to show up every single day. Now, I don't want you guys thinking it's like, hey, this guy's talking about creating passive income, and I'm not just speaking about creating passive income. We're talking about more than creating passive income. We're talking about different things outside of passive income. Even something as small as investing into some type of HELOC or home equity line of credit. I'm going to play this for you guys real quick.
Be to get a home equity line of credit for the equity that you have and put that home equity line of credit in the first position if you can. Make your mortgage a home equity line of credit. And then every time you get paid, deposit your check into your mortgage balance and then use the checkbook that comes with your home equity line of credit to pay your bills. You'll pay off your mortgage probably in 3 to 7 years if you do it that way. Like making the exact same amount of money you make right now, you'll pay off your mortgage in 3 to 7 years, 12 at the outside, instead of paying off your mortgage in 30 years.
This is the game. Yeah, this is something that it's a mortgage hack. A lot of people talk about it, different ways. A lot of people use it as a hook to get you in, to rope you in, and they use this to tell you, hey, I got this secret. I have a secret to help you pay down your mortgage a lot faster. It shouldn't be a secret. I guess it's a play, but guess what? The mortgage companies, they don't want you getting home equity lines of credit and paying down your mortgage faster because guess what? They want that interest. They want that money, but that's a game. That's part of a game. If you know the rules of the game, then guess what? You're going to learn to play it, right? You're going to play the game. You're going to play it better. So at the end of the day, here's the truth. No one knows how much time we have on this earth. We can be physically strong, mentally strong, financially strong, and spiritually strong, but at any given point, something can happen to take one, if not all those things away from you. Something can happen to your health. You could get into an accident, and guess what? Something's going to change in your life. Are you financially stable enough to handle getting struck, getting paralyzed? What are you going to do financially? What do you have set forth in place? There's a lot of mental illness out there right now. What's going to happen if you become mentally ill for some different reasons? Do you have things set up in place so that way you can continue to earn money physically, mentally, financially? There could be something that happens to your finances, and hopefully there won't be. You know, there may be something that pops up. Maybe it's a lawsuit. And now you have all this money that you have to pay out. How are you going to handle that? Do you have more money coming in? Are you going to be able to rebound from that? For me, learning and playing the money game is about creating the freedom necessary so that I can be the pillar of strength to help the people that I can affect to become their own pillars of strength. And in the event, if something were to happen to me mentally, physically, financially, or spiritually, the system that I have in place will continue to take care of the ones that I care about the most. The system will continue to take care of the ones that I care about the most. And, you know, this is extremely important to me, is having a system so that way that system can continue to feed me, continue to take care of me, continue to take care of my family, to continue to take care of the people that need to succeed the most. What does that system look like? So I'm going to play this last little snippet here because I think it's extremely important, and we'll talk about it a little bit kind of as we go through it.
Work, I'd rather work for something that's way more valuable than money. What could that possibly be? Like, what could be more valuable than money to work for? Like, I'm not going to work hard.
I'd rather work for something that is way more valuable than money. I remember thinking and remember listening to this. I was like, oh, you'd rather work for something that's way more valuable than money. My first thought was like, okay, yeah. You know, people value time more than money. You know, I get that. Which is the truth. But more importantly, valuing time more than money, what specifically can you do to give you your time back?
For money. In fact, I'm going to do my best not to work for money at all. I'm going to create things that create money. So I'm going to work to build a system that can pay me from now on.
Create things that creates money. Not going to work hard for money. I'm going to work hard to create things that create money.
So I work to build systems that pay me. What does that even mean? So like a funnel, for instance, our Boss Moves book funnel. So every book that I write is a system. This is a system. This is a system where I turn $2.50 into $30 plus $10 shipping and handling. That's what this is. I wrote this book one time. How many times did I write the book? One time. Wrote the book one time. Last month, we sold 700 copies of the book at $30 a piece, plus in the United States, $9.99 shipping and handling. Outside the United States, $25 shipping and handling. If you sell 700 books for $30, that's $21,000 for work I did 3 years ago. That's $21,000 in 1 month for work I did 3 years ago. So I worked really hard to write this book. I don't work at all to sell it.
You work really hard to create something that creates money.
I just have a funnel out there. People watch my YouTube videos. People read the book. They'll share. When they get their book, they post it on Instagram. They tag me. I take their Instagram story, share it to my Instagram story, and insert a link to the book. Karina runs an infomercial every night. All night long, we have an Instagram infomercial. So she runs this, she turns it on at night, maybe right before she goes to bed, and people can watch it. And then we take it down in the morning. We have one for this book. We have one for this book. We have one for the Make More Offers Challenge. We got infomercials that run all night. That's a system. And so I work hard to build systems while you're working hard to make money. I'm going to work hard to build a system. I'm going to work hard to learn a new skill.
Work hard to learn a new skill. Because skills, you can use a skill to create more money.
To me, learning a new skill is worth working hard for. Making money is not. Okay?
Because when you learn a new skill, that skill will continue to pay you. Working hard to learn a skill is necessary. Working hard for money is not necessary.
So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to work hard to learn a skill. I'm going to work hard to build a system. What else am I going to work hard to do? I'm going to work hard to build really good relationships with really good people.
And this is part of it here, right? You're going to work really hard to build really good relationships with really good people, because the value in having really good people around you and building those relationships, it will continue to pay you and create money for you and your family in some way, shape, or form. Because having a good relationship with really good people, what do people do? That's why people talk about getting on the golf course. Those few moments of networking, they're invaluable. You meet people, you find out a lot about people, you learn who people are.
But everything else is a game. It's all a game.
So you treat people well, you build good relationships with people, you learn new skills, you work hard for those things. You work hard to build relationships with people. Those are things that you work hard for. You work hard to build new skills, mainly specifically for one reason, so that way you don't have to work hard for money. I'm just like you guys, probably did that one backwards. All right, guys, I'm Osiris, and this is the Get Busy Podcast. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen. I'm not going to hold you guys. This is episode number 3 of the Get Busy Podcast. So we're going to start trying to crank these out. I am working off of a new setup, so I'm getting to learn the new setup. So one, so I can hopefully minimize how much editing I have to do in the post process, but two, so I can help deliver my message in the best and most concise way possible. I'm getting everything set up to keep you guys entertained, to keep you guys informed, and to create a show, hopefully, that I can be doing for quite some time. You know, I enjoy it. Keep doing it. Create another system for myself that at some point in time, hopefully, will create some money. That's the goal. That's the thought process. We have a lot to share with you guys on this channel, especially when it comes to building and maintaining businesses, building and maintaining systems that are going to continue to pay you for an indefinite period of time, right? You might have to give it a little bit of maintenance, a little bit of love, but what we're not going to have to do, what we're hoping to not have to do, is to work hard for money. But you will have to work hard to build a system, right? That's going to create and give you money. So be prepared for that. This is episode number, I believe, 3. Check out episode number 2, where we're speaking with contractor Mr. Christopher Slade, who in his first year of business was able to produce $350,000 for his family. First year as an electrical contractor, moving from California to Denver, he was able to create a business producing $350,000. And I think that's a valuable episode to watch, because, you know, these episodes, over time, there's a lot of information in there. And over time, you're going to be able to hear and kind of pick out information here and there. But listening to this information is going to help build some awareness. Hey, it's going to build some awareness in me and my family and value. So come back, share, learn, and drop a link. Tell me, guys, what you think about the money game. Maybe drop some money tips down there. Drop some money tips, some money games in the comments down below, and let me know, what games have you played? What money games have you played that have made you a lot of money? If you guys do that, maybe I'll make a video about it, but drop down in the comment down below. I don't care if you're listening on the podcast. If you have opportunity, drop it in the comments. Tell me, what money game did you learn to play that brings you value, that brings your family value, that helps you not have to work hard for money, that helps you to leverage or create more time for you and your family, or maybe saves you money? What games do you play? I'm deeply interested. I want to know. This is a discussion that is not over. We are going to talk about this. We're going to build on it. We're going to expand on it. Again, this is the Get Busy Podcast. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen. We're out. Episode number 3. Peace.